learning about is different types of polymorphism. Polymorphism being that when there's a method called within a class, there's usually a wider name used that's the exact same, but under different circumstances will give a different output depending on the subclass or the different names it's got around it. So the different types it's got is static polymorphism, which is when you use overloading, as has been said before, but it's basically when you call one method and the difference is that it has different parameters within the brackets. But in the case of this code I've got currently, there isn't any static. But for dynamic, we have a fair bit of that, where you have your flies with overriding for penguin, or it's overridden for in penguin compared to what it usually is for bird, which the fly is usually just flap, flap, flap. But for penguin, of course, they cannot fly. So for its output, it would be that penguins cannot fly. Abstraction's sort of been used when, in some areas, it's been simplified enough that you don't actually get to see on the own class what happens, but you can see in the end that it actually does what you've been assigning it to do. And then we have encapsulation, which is when you group together a class with different actions within it. Such as, like for this one, when we've got methods of finding the size or kind, they get encapsulated for the get and set. For inheritance, there's several different classes that we have here. So we've got bird as the parent class, and we have duck and penguin as the subclasses, which both inherit the fly and toString. Although in this case they are being overridden to display different outputs. So yeah, when we look at our code, we'll go back to program. We've set in data at the moment. So when we run the code, what we'll begin to see in some of these areas is that what I've done here is I've assigned some groups of lists for animals together to be able to combine them to give their own answers. So we have the names of each animal, names of ducks, names of the birds, penguins' names, ducks, and their information again, because they were put twice into a list at the start. Oh wait, sorry. They were chucked here in the middle and then made into a list afterwards. Then we have the flap of the different birds, as well as the penguins that cannot fly at all. So yeah, that's how it works.